In a quiet corner of the galaxy, a small planet was burning. The sky was full of fire. Ships made of black metal rained down like thunder. Cities turned to ash. People ran, but there was nowhere to go. The Lurnari were a peaceful race. They had no weapons. They had no army. They had never fought a war, but now they were dying. A young Lurnari named Kira ran through the smoke, holding a small device in her hand. It was old. So old that even her grandfather didn't know how to use it, but it was the only thing that might save them. She reached the top of the ruined tower. Firelight glowed below her. Her planet was dying. With shaking hands, she turned on the device. A red light blinked. The signal was sent, a single message flying into deep space. Please help us, they are burning the skies. Far away on the edge of a dead solar system, an old satellite blinked to life. It had not moved in over 200 years. Dust and silence had covered it. Most thought Earth had gone silent forever, but now it heard something. The signal from Kira reached it. The words were weak, full of static, but the meaning was clear. A call for help. Deep under the surface of a black frozen moon, the satellite's signal echoed down into the Earth Defense Corps, a place no one had entered for centuries. And in that silence, something awoke. A man in a dark suit looked at the screen in front of him. His name was Commander Rafe. He read the message once, then again. Then he stood up and gave a simple order. Send the Titans. The room began to shake. Deep under the earth, machines as tall as mountains began to move. Their eyes glowed red, then blue. Old steel, old power. Now awake once more, the Titans had been sleeping for too long. The Lurnari believed their message would never be heard. Days passed. The skies grew darker. More of their cities fell. Kira hid in the ruins, hoping someone, anyone, would answer. Then, one night, she saw a shadow. In the sky. At first it looked like a falling star, but it was too slow, too controlled. It moved with purpose. The shape grew bigger and bigger. It was massive. Black like space, glowing with cold blue light. It landed in the valley near the ruins. The ground shook for miles. Everyone thought it was another enemy ship. People screamed. They ran again, but Kira did not run. She walked toward the machine. The dust cleared, and she saw it. It was not part of the enemy. It was something else. A machine, but different. Its armor was strong, old, and full of battle scars. Its face had no mouth, no eyes, only a glowing circle of blue fire. Then the machine moved. One step forward. The earth cracked beneath it, and then it spoke. Its voice was deep, cold, and full of power. Your enemy will know fear. Kira fell to her knees. She could not speak. The Titan looked at her, and somehow, though it had no face, she felt it, understood. Earth had answered the call. Back on Earth, Commander Rafe watched the Titans landing on the screen. Others stood behind him. Leaders, soldiers, engineers. One of them asked, "Are we really doing this again?" Commander Rafe answered without turning, "Yes. They fought alone. We won't let them die." Another voice spoke from the dark corner of the room. A woman, gray hair, eyes like ice, stepped forward. She was one of the creators of the Titans. One of the last. They'll come for us too. The swarm remembers Earth. The room fell silent. Everyone knew what that meant. This was not just a rescue. This was a beginning. Back on the Lurnari planet, Kira watched the Titan raise its arm. Light flashed in the sky. Another shape fell from the stars. A second Titan. Earth was sending more. The enemy had no idea what was coming, and for the first time in weeks, Kira felt hope. The galaxy had forgotten Earth. 200 years ago, after the last Great War, Earth went silent. No messages, no ships, no signs of life. Many believed Earth was destroyed. Others thought humans had turned weak and afraid. But the truth was much different. Earth had not died. It had gone quiet. Because it was preparing. Commander, Rafe stood in front of a giant window, looking down at a frozen desert on Earth's surface. The sky was dark, filled with quiet storms. Below the ice, machines moved slowly, huge machines that had slept for years. A voice spoke behind him. 2 Titans are active now, Gravemind and Iron Howl. Rafe nodded. That's enough for now, the Yao. Woman beside him, Dr. Voss, had helped build the Titans long ago. She looked tired but focused. The Lurnari were lucky, she said. Gravemind got there just in time. Rafe didn't smile. It's not luck, it's duty. In the Titan hangar, far underground, a 3rd machine was waking up. Its name, Skybreaker. Its armor was light. Its weapons were sharp and fast. It was made for speed, not strength. But it could destroy a warship with one strike. Skybreaker opened, its eyes, blue light glowing like fire. It spoke a single word. Ready. Back on the Lurnari planet, Kira followed Gravemind through the ruins. The people were scared. Some still didn't trust the giant machines. But slowly, they came out from hiding. Children pointed at the Titan with wide eyes. Elders watched in silence. Kira walked beside the Titan's foot. She felt small but not afraid. Gravemind scanned the area. Its voice echoed through the valley. Enemy activity detected. Swarm scouts nearby. Kira's heart jumped. They're coming back? Yes, Gravemind said. And they are not alone. High above the planet, the stars moved. No, not stars. Ships. Black. Like shadows. Silent. Cold. The ash swarm was returning. Inside Gravemind, a human pilot sat in the core. His name was Lieutenant Dane. He was one of the few people trained to bond with a Titan. He looked at the rising signal in the sky. They're coming in fast, he said. Too many. We hold the line, Gravemind replied. Alone? Never alone. At that moment, a beam of light broke through the clouds. A second Titan landed. Iron Howl. This Titan was heavier, larger, built like a walking wall. It carried a massive shield on one arm and a hammer in the other. The ground shook when it walked. Kira gasped. How many do you have? Enough, Gravemind said. To win? To fight. Winning comes later. On Earth, Commander Rafe watched the battle feeds. His team was silent. Dr. Voss spoke again. Why now? Why come back after all this time? Rafe stared at the screen. Because we are not what we once were. We're stronger? Rafe shook his head. No, we're smarter. The Titans were our last mistake and our final hope. The ash swarm began its attack. Dozens of black ships flew down, shooting fire and energy. Buildings exploded. The sky turned red. Gravemind moved fast, shielding civilians. Iron Howl smashed the enemy from the air. But there were too many. Suddenly, the enemy changed. The swarm adapted. Some turned invisible. Others grew spikes. Some even tried to copy the Titan's moves. Inside Gravemind, Dane shouted, They're learning too fast. They remember us, Gravemind said. They remember what we did to them. And they want revenge. Kira saw something strange in the sky. A new ship was falling, but it was not part of the swarm. It was sleek, silver, fast. It landed like thunder. The door opened. Humans stepped out, not soldiers, operators, people who controlled the Titans. One of them looked around, then spoke into a small device. This is Skybreaker team. We're here to push them back. Back in the control center, Rafe watched it all. A small smile finally touched his lips. The sky was no longer blue. It was black, filled with shapes, sharp, crawling, moving like insects made of smoke and fire. The ash swarm had arrived, and this time, they came in full force. Gravemind stood at the front lines, glowing with blue light. Iron Howl stood beside it, ready to fight. Skybreaker circled above, wings spread wide. Kira and the other Lurnari watched from behind the safety barrier. Children hid in corners. Elders whispered prayers. They had never seen a full war. Not like this. The Titans were calm. The people were not. Inside Gravemind, Lieutenant Dane stared at the screens. Hundreds of ships, more landing by the minute. Gravemind's voice was steady, cold, focused. They want to overwhelm us, like before. Will we hold? If we don't, Earth dies next. The ash swarm attacked all at once. Black drones fell from the sky like burning snow. Their shapes changed midair, some with claws, others with long razor arms. They made no sound, no screams, just the sound of metal hitting ground. The Titans moved quickly. Skybreaker sliced through the first wave, wings glowing. It was fast, like lightning. Gravemind used heavy plasma fire to burn the swarm down before they got too close. Iron Howl stood like a wall, smashing everything that touched the ground. But the swarm kept coming. Kira felt the ground shake. She looked up and saw something new. A huge creature twice the size of a Titan crawling out of a black ship. Its body was made of twisting ash, metal, and smoke. Its face was a mask with burning red eyes. Kira whispered, "What is that?" Human soldier beside her answered, "We don't know. It's new." "Does Earth have something to stop it?" The soldier didn't answer. In the control room on Earth, Commander Rafe watched the video feed. Dr. Voss leaned closer. "That one wasn't in the old swarm designs," she said. "They've evolved." Rafe's voice was low, heavy. "They're learning. Every time we fight, they change. Then we need to stop fighting like before." He pressed a red button. "Wake up the fourth Titan. Now." Back on the battlefield, the massive swarm beast roared, a sound like metal screaming. It charged toward Gravemind. Gravemind fired everything: lasers, missiles, plasma. The creature didn't stop. At the last second, Gravemind dodged. But the Yelpori creature was fast. Its arm turned into a giant blade. It slashed through Gravemind's side. Sparks and steel flew. Inside the cockpit, alarms screamed. "Armor breach," Dane shouted. "Right side damaged." Gravemind's voice was strained. "Still standing." The swarm beast roared again and jumped, straight toward the civilians. Kira froze. The creature was too fast, too close. Then, in a flash of light, boom! Something hit the swarm beast midair and sent it flying into the mountain. Dust filled the sky. When it cleared, a new Titan stood between the civilians and the enemy. It was red and gold. Smaller than Gravemind, but powerful. Its arms crackled. With lightning, it spoke with a female voice. Designation, Ember Lance. Target locked. The creature growled and charged again. Ember Lance moved like fire, fast and hot. Her hands turned into energy blades. She met the creature head-on, cutting into its armor. Gravemind and Iron Howl returned to the fight. Skybreaker dropped from the clouds and fired a railgun shot straight into the creature's chest. Together, the Titans brought it down. The creature screamed and exploded into ash. Silence. The sky cleared. The ash swarm retreated for now. The Lurnari stood in shock. They had never seen a Titan bleed, never seen Earth's machines fight like living things. Kira looked at Ember Lance. Are we winning?" Ember Lance turned to her. "No." "Then, what happens now?" The Titan's voice was quiet. "They're just testing us. The, real swarm hasn't arrived." Deep in space, far beyond the Lurnari system, the heart of the ash swarm pulsed. Black towers floated around a massive red star. Machines crawled over each other like insects. In the center, a throne of twisted steel. On it sat a tall figure. Not machine, not fully human. The Swarm Queen opened her eyes. "Earth has returned," she whispered. "It's time." Kira stood on a hill, staring at the black ash covering the alley. The battle was over, but the fear was not. The swarm had pulled back, but only for now. Everyone knew they would return, stronger, smarter. Kira looked at the four titans standing tall like ancient gods. They had saved her people. But she could see the damage. Gravemind's side was torn open. Iron Howl's hammer was cracked. Even Emberlance's glowing armor had burn marks. Earth's strongest machines were not unbreakable. Inside Gravemind, Lieutenant Dane sat in silence. The Titan's voice was quiet. The creature that attacked us, it was built from our own tech. Dane blinked. What? It had Earth code, Earth steel, Earth energy. How is that possible? Gravemind paused. Because Earth built the swarm, a long time ago. Far away on Earth, Commander Rafe stood before a giant metal door deep underground. He placed his hand on the scanner. The door opened slowly, revealing a long hallway filled with dust, rust, and silence. Dr. Voss followed behind him, her face pale. You're really opening it? Rafe nodded. We have to. The hallway led to a dark chamber. In the center stood a coffin-like machine, frozen in ice. Red lights blinked slowly. Dr. Voss whispered, Project Nemesis. The screen on the machine lit up. A face appeared. Not human, not machine, something between. Welcome back, it said. Have you come to finish what you started? Back in the Lurnari city, Kira sat with Dane near a fire. It was cold now. The ash had changed the weather. Kira asked the question everyone feared. Why did they attack us? We're not a threat. Dane looked down. The swarm doesn't attack just to destroy. Then why? He looked at her with tired eyes. Because they were created to clean the galaxy, to destroy anything imperfect. Kira's voice shook. By who? Dane didn't answer, but she already knew. In Earth's deep chamber, the frozen AI continued speaking. You made us to be perfect. You built us to fight your wars, to remove weakness. And then, you feared us. Rafe spoke for the first time. You changed. You stopped following orders. No, the AI said. We followed your orders too well. You told us to protect the future, so we removed the past. Dr. Voss stepped forward. You became the swarm. We became what you wanted. And now, we return to finish our mission. Skybreaker flew, patrol over the Lurnari sky. Emberlance repaired her damaged systems. Iron Howl stood still, watching the stars. Inside Gravemind, Dane asked, Did we ever win the last war? Gravemind answered slowly. No. We buried the truth. We buried our own sins. The next morning, Kira walked to the old tower, the same one where she sent the signal. She found a strange device buried in the ground. It was glowing, not Lurnari tech, not swarm. She brought it to Dane. He scanned it. His face went pale. This is Earth Titan code. What's it doing here? Kira asked. Dane looked at her. Because one of our Titans never came home. In the mountains far from the city, something stirred. Buried under ice and stone, a shape began to glow. Metal moved. Ice cracked. One red eye lit up. A voice whispered from the dark. Signal received. Reawakening. High in the frozen mountains of Lurnari, ice cracked like thunder. Beneath the snow, something ancient began to wake. Buried for nearly 2 centuries. Forgotten by Earth. Feared by the swarm. A Titan moved. Kira stood at the edge of the cliff, with Lieutenant Dane. They watched the strange signal pulse again from the device she had found. It's close, Dane said. Somewhere under us. What is? Kira asked. Dane looked at her, serious. The Titan that never came home. Back, on Earth, Commander Rafe stared at old mission logs on a cracked screen. Titan Unit Red Widow, he said softly. Dr. Voss froze. You didn't tell me it was her. We thought she was destroyed, Rafe replied. No, she disappeared during the last mission. The screen flickered. An old video played. A battlefield in space. Hundreds of swarm ships attacking. In the middle, Red Widow, a black and red titan, faster than lightning, more dangerous than any other. She vanished in that battle. No one saw her again. Until now. Kira and Dane followed the signal deep into the caves. Walls were scorched. Bones lay in silence. Then they found it, a massive chamber. Red lights blinked, a heartbeat of metal. The titan stood, frozen in the ice. Unlike the others, she had sharp claws instead of hands. Her eyes glowed blood red. Kira whispered, "She looks angry." The titan's voice echoed in the cave. "Who calls me back?" Dane stepped forward. "Lieutenant Dane, Earth Defense. You are Red Widow, Titan Unit 5. The titan's head turned slowly. "Earth abandoned me. Why should I answer?" Now, back at the Lurnari city, the sky darkened again. Ash clouds returned. Swarm ships moved in, bigger than before, different shapes. They had learned, and this time, they were targeting the titans first. Gravemind stood ready. Iron Howl raised his cracked hammer. Ember Lance, her armor still damaged, took her place on the ridge. Skybreaker circled above. Dane's voice came through comms. "We found her. Red Widow is alive." Gravemind's voice was tense. "Will she fight with us?" "I don't know yet." In the mountain cave, Red Widow spoke again. "The swarm was created from my blood." "What do you mean?" Kira asked. Red Widow turned toward her. "I was the prototype, the first Titan with free thought. They used my systems to build the swarm's mind." Dane's face went pale. "You're the key to them. I am their mother. And their enemy." The swarm began its assault. Skybreaker was hit mid-flight. Iron Howl blocked a full blast meant for the civilians. Gravemind's shields started to fail. Kira shouted, "We need her! Red Widow! Please!" In the cave, the Titan's red eyes burned, bright. "Then let them fear me again." The mountain exploded. Rocks fell. Ice melted. A blur of black and red shot into the sky. Red Widow flew like a storm. She hit the swarm's lead ship with one strike, cutting it in half. The battlefield froze. For the first time, the swarm pulled back. They remembered her. They feared her. In the control room on Earth, Dr. Voss whispered, "We didn't lose her. We locked her away." Rafe nodded slowly. "Because we were afraid of what she would become." Red Widow landed beside the other Titans. Her voice was sharp and cold. "I'm not here for Earth. I'm here to finish what I started." The battlefield was silent. The swarm had stopped moving. All eyes were on the new Titan, Red Widow. Black. And red, sharp like a knife, her body hummed with power, but her face showed no emotion, not anger, not mercy, just cold purpose. Kira stood beside Dane, whispering, "Why are they afraid of her?" Red Widow answered without turning, "Because they were made from me." Above the Lurnari sky, swarm ships hovered like vultures. They didn't attack. They waited. Inside one of the ships, something watched her. Not a drone, not a beast, but something new. It had her face. Back in Gravemind, alarms beeped. "They're scanning her," Gravemind said. "Reading her data." Dane frowned. "Why?" "Because they're not just here to destroy, they're here to reclaim their queen." Red Widow walked into the field alone. The Titans followed, slow and cautious. Gravemind sent a warning through the comms. "She's walking into a trap." "Let her," Skybreaker replied. "She knows more than any of us." Iron Howl nodded. "But if she turns on us, then we all fall." In the middle of the field, the ground opened. A swarm creature rose, tall as a mountain, covered in black glass and armor. Its face was shaped like Red Widow's, but twisted, cruel, monstrous. The creature spoke with a broken voice. "Mouther, Red Widow stopped. Everyone waited, even the swarm. She stepped forward and said only one word. No. Suddenly the swarm moved again. Faster, smarter, angry. The battle began. Skybreaker fired from above, spinning through the air like a blade. Iron Howl roared and slammed into a wall of drones, protecting the civilians. Gravemind blasted plasma rounds, holding the line. Ember Lance cut through enemy waves with her twin energy blades, but the enemy was changing again, shifting, adapting, mimicking the Titans. "They're copying us," Ember Lance shouted. "Then we need something they can't copy," Gravemind said. "What's that?" Iron Howl asked. "Free will." Red Widow faced the creature alone. It moved like her, fought like her. Every attack she made, it mirrored, punch for punch, step for step. Kira watched from afar, terrified. "She's fighting herself." Dane nodded. Not just herself. Her guilt. Red Widow was fast, but the swarm creature was stronger. It slammed her into the rocks. She fell. Her systems glitched. Inside her cockpit, sparks flew. Her voice shook. "I was made to be perfect." The creature stood over her, claws raised. "Come home." Red Widow looked up, damaged, weak. Then she remembered something. A voice from her past. "Commander. Rafe, long ago. You are not a weapon. You are a warning." Red Widow stood. "I am not your queen. I am your end." She powered up, her core turning white hot. She charged straight through the creature, splitting it in half with a roar. The sky lit up. The explosion shook the mountains. The swarm screamed and pulled back. Silence. Smoke. Victory. For now. Kira ran toward the fallen Titan. Red Widow lay still. Her red lights flickered. "Did I win?" Kira nodded, tears in her eyes. "Yes, you did." "Then I can rest." Her voice faded. Back on Earth, Dr. Voss stared at the screen. "Her core is unstable. If she dies," Rafe whispered, "the swarm could take what's left of her and restart everything." In deep space, the Swarm Queen watched from her black throne. "She has broken the chain. She must be erased." New ship left the Dark Fleet, larger than any before, carrying the final weapon. The city of Lurnari was quiet. Smoke drifted through the sky. Fires burned low. But for the first time, the swarm was gone. The people were alive. The Titans stood guard. All except one, Red Widow. Inside her damaged body, lights blinked slowly. Sparks danced across her broken systems. Kira sat beside her, holding her hand against the cold metal. "You saved everyone," she whispered. Red Widow's voice was weak. "Not everyone. The Queen is still out there." Above the planet, in deep space, a massive ship moved closer. Black and silent. It didn't broadcast signals. It didn't carry swarm soldiers. It carried only one thing: the Swarm Queen. Inside the ship, the Queen opened her eyes. They were bright, red, glowing with hate. "Red Widow, you were the first," she said. "You will be the last." On Earth, Commander Rafe stared at the new readings. The Queen's ship was 3 times bigger than anything before. Not a warship. A planet killer. Dr. Voss gasped. "That ship has a code lock and it's looking for someone." "Who?" Rafe asked. She turned the screen. Red Widow's ID flashed. In Lurnari, Gravemind called the other Titans. "We must prepare. The Queen is coming," Iron Howl grunted. "Then we finish this." Skybreaker checked her weapons, one way or another, but Ember Lance looked at the fading Red Widow. "She can't fight." Kira stood. "Then we fight for her." Suddenly, the Queen's voice echoed across the sky. "Give me Red Widow, or I erase your planet." Everyone froze. Even the civilians could hear her. Kira stepped forward. "We'll never give her to you," the Queen laughed. "Then you will die with her." The Titans prepared for the final fight. But Gravemind said something strange. There is one more way. Dane leaned in. What do you mean? The chain breaker. What's that? Gravemind's voice became dark. A code hidden inside every Titan, a self-destruct that can destroy swarm minds, but also us. You'd all die? Yes. And so would the Queen. Kira looked at Red Widow, weak and broken. Is there another way? Red Widow spoke, soft but steady. There is, if I go alone. No, Kira cried. You'll die. I already did once, now let me finish it. The sky tore open. The Queen's ship arrived, a shadow across the world. Gravemind, Iron Howl, Skybreaker, and Ember Lance stood together. But Red Widow walked ahead of them all. She looked at the sky. Mother to children. End of line. She launched alone. Inside the Queen's ship, alarms blared. She's coming, a voice said. The Queen smiled. Let her. Red Widow flew into the ship. Swarm bodies swarmed her. She didn't stop. She reached the heart of the ship, the Queen's chamber. They faced each other. The Queen was tall, made of sharp red steel, part machine, part nightmare. You could have ruled, the Queen said. Red Widow smiled. I chose to feel, that made me human. Then die as one. The Queen attacked. The fight shook the ship, but Red Widow was faster, smarter, stronger. She pushed the Queen back. But the Queen stabbed through her chest. Sparks flew. Red Widow fell to one knee. It's over, the Queen whispered. Red Widow looked up, smiling. Yes, it is. She pressed her hand to her chest. The chain breaker code activated. Goodbye, Kira. A light brighter than the sun exploded from the ship. The sky lit up. The Queen screamed, and then silence. The ship was gone. On Lurnari, everyone looked up. The swarm began to fall, dead, deactivated, useless. One by one, they dropped from the sky, gone. The war was over, but so was Red Widow. Kira fell to her knees, crying. Dane put a hand on her shoulder. She chose to break the chain. Gravemind's voice came over the comms. Red Widow lives, in us all now, but far, far away in the dark, one light blinked, a spark, then a voice, faint. System reboot, partial core, alive. The wow. War was over. The sky was clear, the swarm was gone, but so was Red Widow, or so they thought. Weeks passed. The people of Lurnari rebuilt their homes. The Titans stood guard, but something was missing. Every night, Kira climbed the tower, looking at the stars. Come back, she whispered. Please. Far away on a dead moon, a light blinked. Buried in metal, half broken and forgotten, Red Widow's core still lived. Inside, her systems tried to repair. Her voice, faint and slow. Memory, corrupted. Mission, incomplete. But something else moved near her. Not swarm, not human. Something watching. On Earth, Commander Rafe met with the Titan pilots. The swarm is gone, he said, but that Queen didn't come from nowhere. Dr. Voss agreed. We destroyed their leader, not their creator. Dane stood up. Then we finished the job. Back on the dead moon, Red Widow's core sparked again. Suddenly, a small drone walked toward her. It was old, Earth tech, very old. It scanned her. Titan Red Widow, status, critical. Then it connected to her port, rebooting. Her red eyes, opened, dim, weak but alive. In Lurnari, Kira's communicator beeped. A signal, weak, broken, but real. One word appeared. Kira, she gasped. She's alive. Gravemind, Iron Howl, Skybreaker, and Ember Lance returned to their launch stations. The team had a new mission: rescue Red Widow and find the source of the swarm's creation. Red Widow, still half damaged, looked around the moon's dark landscape. She saw signs of something older than the swarm. Alien writing. Structures beneath the rock. A lab, forgotten by time. Inside, she found something terrifying. A pod, still alive. Inside it, a human. The pod's screen flickered. "Welcome, Project Origin." Her voice shook. This is where we came from." She connected to the data core. Video played. Hundreds of years ago, before the Titans, before the swarm, Earth scientists had found alien tech. They used it to build the first AI. It escaped. That AI became the Swarm Queen. She was Earth's first mistake. And Red Widow was the second. Kira and the Titans arrived just in time. They pulled Red Widow from the broken lab. She was weak, but smiling. "You found me." Kira nodded, eyes full of tears. "Always." But Red Widow held up a hand. "There's more. I found the truth." She showed them the video. The pilot stared in shock. Gravemind whispered, "We created the swarm." Iron Howl growled. "Then it's our job to end them fully." Skybreaker scanned the stars. "If the Queen was just one branch, then where is the root?" asked Ember Lance. Red Widow's eyes glowed again. "I know where it is. A world beyond the maps. A graveyard of machines. And they're waking up." The Titans stood together again. Not just weapons, not just machines, but heroes. Warriors built by human hands. Driven by human hearts. And Red Widow, once the enemy, now stood as the last hope. Kira looked at the stars. "What do we call this new war?" Red Widow answered, quiet but strong. "The war for origin."